Alright y'all, now I figured being that there's a bunch of headlines right now about Ksoo and his father, where his father told on his own son and played a part in getting him a life sentence, then we might as well go into the situation that led up to the whole court case to begin with. Now for y'all that don't know, Ksoo was accused of taking the life of another Jacksonville resident by the name of Charles McCormick Jr., aka Lil Buck. According to reports, the two have been involved in a rap feud going back and forth with each other after Lil Buck trolled Ksoo's half-brother Willie Addison, who was previously unalived in a drive-by shooting, as get back because it's believed that Lil Buck either had something to do with it or knew who did something. In 2020, Ksoo was accused of unaliving Lil Buck in a Florida shopping center, which he stood trial for recently and was found guilty after surveillance evidence, along with testimonies from his own father and associate, will help prosecutors prove he was the shooter. So without saying too much, now that y'all got the brief rundown of what took place, we're going to get into the actual video of what happened. Shout out to Dose of Mystery, and before we get into the video, make sure you hit that thumbs up button so we can get this video into the algorithm, and if you not subscribed to the platform already, make sure you do so now. Let's get into it.
First Survive, breaking news tonight. A manhunt is underway right now for two suspects involved in a shooting in Arlington.
Police say an off-duty officer saw a man shoot another man outside of an employment center over on Merrill Road.
Say two of the suspects broke into a woman's home, attempted to strangle her, and changed into her husband's clothes.
On January 15, 2020, Charles McCormick, known as Lil Buck, started his day early. That morning, he visited a local shopping plaza in Jacksonville, Florida. However, the routine visit took a tragic turn. At approximately 11 a.m., gunfire erupted in the parking lot. Lil Buck was shot multiple times in what authorities would later describe as a targeted drive-by shooting. An off-duty officer who happened to be nearby witnessed the horrifying event. The officer immediately pursued the suspects. He was initiating a high-speed chase through the streets of Jacksonville. Meanwhile, Lil Buck lay lifeless in the parking lot.
Now, you know, all the time, right, when we talk about these situations, first of all, I always say, imagine how you must feel when you woke up thinking that you about to live your best life. You about to just live a regular day and do the daily things that you usually do, and you don't even know that your life is about to be taken from you. And when you really think about the psychological aspect of all that, it's kind of crazy. Like, to really think that you was just about to live your best life. You probably had plans on going out to eat with your family, taking care of your son or your daughter, or whatever it was you needed to do. You didn't think that that day was going to be your last day on earth. And not to mention, his day was really short because 11 something in the morning, he didn't even get to live past noon. Crazy.
One bullet through there. Jacksonville Fire Rescue say one man is currently looking for another man a few blocks away, Carlotta Drive, 1000 block. Black man, 5'8", roughly 175. Last seen black sweatshirt, black pants. If you have any information, do not approach.
The police assured the public that the shooting was planned and that Lil Buck's assailants weren't going around hitting random people. But why was he targeted? Well, to start, he was associated with KTA. KTA, or Kill Them All, is one of the gangs in Florida that is currently a major part of the war in Jacksonville. At the time of Lil Buck's passing, KTA was said to be led by rapper Julio Fulio. Julio Fulio had become a central figure in the city's gang activity, and his online feud with the rival gang, ATK, or ACE's top assailants, turned fatal in 2017. In May 2017, Zion Brown, Julio Fulio's cousin, was hit. On that day of the shooting, Zion Brown was in for the night when his assailants broke in by throwing a brick through the sliding door. The attacker, later identified as 19-year-old DeAndre Thomas, opened fire, hitting multiple people. Two girls, aged 9 and 16, were shot but survived.
Damn. You gotta be a different type of cold-blooded to break into somebody's house and shoot not even your target, but you shoot children. See, this is what I always say, right? There's no morals, values, principles, none of that. These kids done took away everything. Back in the days when you had your gangsters, they said women and kids were off limits. These guys don't care who they hit. Crazy.
John Brown was rushed to the hospital where he succumbed to his injuries. Dontre Thomas had significant ties to ATK, led by rapper Young and Ace. This hit caused a series of retaliatory attacks between KTA and ATK. The viciousness escalated when Young and Ace was targeted in a mass shooting. In June 2018, Ace was the casualty of a quadruple shooting that left 2 of his friends and his brother deceased. The incident occurred near the St. John's Town Center in Jacksonville, Florida. The night he and his friends celebrated his brother's birthday, Young and Ace was shot 8 times but miraculously survived, and the war in Jacksonville would continue. On January 16th, 2019, the streets of Jacksonville were rocked by another gruesome incident that claimed the life of Willie Addison, known to most as Boss Goon. The shooting occurred just months after Boss Goon was released from prison, where he had served a 10-year sentence. Boss Goon.
Now, could you imagine serving a 10-year sentence? Right? 10 years. And you finally get out and you think that you're about to live your best life once again. And you end up losing your life. This is why they say a lot of times jail be saving a lot of these guys. If it wasn't for jail, unfortunately, a lot of these guys would have been out of here. And this is a prime example. He just did 10 years in jail. He get out and he gets unalive. Shit. I know his family probably say, listen, he was better off in jail then. Crazy.
Performed at the Paradise Gentlemen's Club on Bay Meadows Road that night. After the show, he and his family were driving near the Spring Park Road intersection on Emerson Street when their vehicle was ambushed in the drive-by shooting. The attack left 6 people in the car injured, including Boss Goon's father, Abdul Robinson Sr., who was shot in the back but survived. Among the injured was Boss Goon's younger brother, Hakeem Robinson, better known as Ksoo. The loss of Boss Goon was a significant blow to the ATK gang and further escalated the conflict with KTA. Then, on February 25th, 2019, Adrian Gaynor, a teenager, better known as Bibby, was fatally shot at the Hilltop Village Apartments in northwest Jacksonville. A witness told police the assailant shot Bibby at close range in the back of the head or neck before fleeing, but this did not keep him from being identified. Witnesses report that Hakeem Robinson, known as Ksoo, was the shooter. Ksoo later posted several photographs and videos online bragging about the hit.
See, there you go. Right? And it's funny because these are the same guys that swear somebody's snitching on them. And I guess around that time, they didn't understand how big social media was when it comes to these feds solving these cases. But now we know verbatim. We know for sure that these guys, and they're not hiding it. They're not hiding it no more. Before they used to try to be slick and not let you know where they got their information from. But now the feds are letting you know that they're getting a lot of their evidence, whether it's song lyrics, song videos, interviews, they're getting their evidence from social media and they're letting you know. And somehow, some way, these guys are still putting incriminating evidence, information on social media as if they have to. Crazy.
This bib on my neck, man, niggas tripping. Big B's, nigga. For Bibby, bitch. I don't even know gang number. I bang Bibby, bitch. Who that nigga crying about in the song every day.
You'll get hit.
Oh my Lord, why you had to take you 16? Nigga be crying every day. I was 16. He had one dream. Nigga had a dream to die.
On October 15th, 2019, Ksoo released the controversial track titled Ksoo. This track, Ksoo openly bragged about the gruesomeness associated with the ongoing gang feud between ATK and KTA. The song's lyrics explicitly mention smoking Bibby.
Rap album cover is making its way around social media. The cover shows pictures of men who have been in Jacksonville. Local rapper Ksoo posted the picture to Instagram. It's since been taken down.
He feels like the local rappers are glorifying these by putting the victims' faces on the album cover. It's unclear if the rappers are directly linked to these, but she says it's hard enough having to live with her son's every day, and it makes it worse seeing her son portrayed like this.
And there seemed to be a response from KTA. On December 11th, 2019, there was a reported shooting involving Julio Fulio targeting Ksoo's mother. Less than a month later, on January 4th, 2020, Ksoo released another diss track called Bang It Out, where he dissed 5 or 6 dead ops, including Bibby. Fulio responded with In the Air. On the 8th of January, the song had lyrics pointed at Ksoo, such as, "You're a rat, just like your daddy," and saying that ATK is hiding out and doing drive-bys. And on the 15th, a day before the 1-year anniversary of the hit of Boss Goon, Lil Buck was hit. Surveillance footage would capture 2 assailants fleeing from the scene of the crime, and later, investigators would find the players involved in the brazen daytime assassination.
Along with the Robinsons' arrest, Dominique Barner and Leroy Whitaker are charged with second degree in connection to the crime.
They include ATK affiliates Leroy Whitaker, also known as ATK Scotty, Dominique Barner, known to some as Butta, Ksoo's brother Abdul Robinson Jr., and his father Abdul Robinson Sr.
JSO says all 3 men have ties to the violent gang ATK.
Reports state that after the hit, their vehicle would crash, after which they took refuge in a woman's house, holding her hostage before their getaway vehicle arrived.
Off camera, she was inside her home in her bedroom at the time. She heard that car hit the tree. She then came out and looked out her window and saw 2 men jump over her fence. She says there was possibly a 3rd suspect who actually ran across the street and over the fence of her neighbor, but that woman was inside the home at the time. She, of course, still upset here.
The woman who was held hostage later pointed out Barner in a photo lineup, and he would be tricked into giving evidence of what occurred that day. While imprisoned, a confidential informant was sent in on a wire capturing Barner admitting to being involved in the hit of Lil Buck, giving details of the others involved.
See right there, right? That's what happens. And you know, this happens a lot more than people think. You know why? Because dudes can't keep their mouth closed even when they're in jail, right? How crazy is that? Plenty of times we see situations where these guys get locked up and they try to hold it down and act like they don't know nothing, right? To the police. Then when they actually get in their housing area, they're talking about their crimes to everybody in there. So what the feds do, or just police in general, when they know that you know something and you probably don't want to tell them, they put a guy in there that looked just like an inmate, but he has a wire on. And he'll talk to you about your crimes. And if you're silly enough, you're going to tell him everything about that crime. Who's in it, your role in it, and whatever else. And that's what a lot of these guys do. So that's what happened with Butta. He was in his housing area talking about his crimes. They got him on recording. They said, well, guess what? You can't say that you don't know because you told us everything we needed to know on these wiretaps. And in return, he took the stand. Crazy.
Barner's confirmed Ksoo retaliated on Lil Buck for making a diss song about his deceased brother, Boss Goon. Not only that, but Barner detailed Ksoo chasing down and ending the life of with an AR pistol.
Police were able to make their case against Robinson because of a confidential informant who went in and was able to record Barner, who admitted to and implicated in the McCormick Robinson's father, and Leroy Whitaker.
Dominique Barner said that he and others waited until Lil Buck left his house and they followed him to a shopping center on Merle Road. They watched him go shopping, but when he came out of the store around 11 a.m., Ksoo jumped out of the back of the car, chased Lil Buck down, and shot him with an assault rifle. But an off-duty police officer took after them. They crashed the car and took off. 2 of them one way, 1 another. But a handgun was found in the original car, which had fingerprints on it that belonged to Ksoo.
Oh, Lord. Yo, see, and this is why I always said, whether his father testified or not, Ksoo was already cooked. I don't even know why he took it to trial. But I guess when they offer you a certain amount of time, you feel it is what it is, right? Damn if you do, damn if you don't, because either way you cook, you might as well at least try. But at the end of the day, this man had DNA evidence, right? He had surveillance evidence against him. He had his own co-defendant that testified against him. Oh, Lord.
Would release a song with Young and Ace titled ATK War, where he allegedly reenacted the hit on Lil Buck via his lyrics. The lyrics allegedly referenced ATK Scotty and Butter with the lines, and two of his favorite imprisoned felons. And then Ksoo mentioned avenging his brother, Boss Goon, when he says, "I stepped on all of them, boy, for you. Now beat their ass in heaven." In the days following Lil Buck's hit, Ksoo posted a video of Lil Buck rapping, which has since been deleted. According to the warrant, the posted video had the caption "Bye Bye" with waving hand emojis. Ksoo later posted a video of his story, which showed him at a nail salon getting a pedicure with the caption "Killer, then go get my toes done."
Oh my Lord. Hey, let me tell y'all, and I know some of y'all probably think, oh, you laughing, you think it's funny. At some point, somebody got to hold these guys accountable, right? Because it's no reason he should be posting the man who he's accused of unaliving, for one. But then two, you double back on that. And then you post a video of you getting your toes done and caption it saying "kill an N-word and then go get my toes done." Well, who killed the N-word and got their toes done? Right? Maybe you. Crazy.
On Robinson's Instagram, there was a story posted of a child singing a song entitled "KSO Homicide" by rapper Young and Ace, a local rapper who has made headlines before. The video was posted after Charles McCormick, also another story, which depicted Hakeem Robinson at a nail salon receiving a pedicure with the caption "N-word, then go get my toes done."
ATK Scotty didn't rap about the people he had hit, but on Twitter, he said that he couldn't even count on both hands how many people he had hit. Even after ATK Scotty was arrested, he refused to snitch on anyone else that was involved.
This is your best time to tell me your side of the story about January, what happened, and I'm just trying to give you the opportunity. You don't know, or?
Currently, the case of
Simple. That's how you do that there, right? Let them people do their job. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't want to talk unless my lawyer is present. Simple as that. Because anything you say can and will be used against you in the court of law. So when they come to you and they got you in the rooms, you don't have to talk. Simply tell them, I don't want to speak unless my lawyer is present. And if they keep going, well, I don't know. Simple.
Boss Goon's father and brother has taken a serious plot twist, with their father, Abdul Robinson Sr., agreeing to testify against his sons to secure his freedom.
Father of Jacksonville rapper Ksoo will testify against his own son in a very high-profile trial. This according to brand new court records, first reported by First Coast News.
Abdul Robinson Sr., believed by some to be one of the leaders of the ATK gang, has been implicated in several violent incidents alongside his sons.
JSO says the family is a part of a trafficking organization known as ATK.
Facing multiple felony charges that could result in decades of imprisonment, Robinson Sr. agreed to cooperate with prosecutors in exchange for a potentially reduced sentence. This cooperation includes testifying against Ksoo in the first-degree hit cases of Lil Buck and Bibby. In the newly released interrogation video, Abdul Robinson Sr. can be seen identifying his son as the shooter in the hit of Lil Buck.
If you cannot afford to hire a lawyer, won't be appointed for you for any questioning if you wish, you understand? Yeah. And if you do answer questions, you have the right to stop answering questions at any time and consult a lawyer, do you understand? Yeah. All right. Do me a favor, just sign right there. All I'm saying is that you understand your rights as I've written them.
Abdul claimed that after Lil Buck's hit, he received a phone call from his son Ksoo asking him to pick up Barner and ATK Scotty, and then implicated other gang members, including his other son, Abdul Robinson Jr. and Dominique Barner.
He ran but couldn't hide. 26-year-old Abdul Robinson Jr. is the fifth suspect charged in connection to 23-year-old Charles McCormick's 2020
Robinson.
And the sad part is, I think he probably would have got away if the father didn't implicate him in the whole situation. Because if you pay attention, he kind of like got away. It wasn't much about him, right? They said they seen a third suspect run off and take off in the opposite direction. But they never really had a name or face or whatever.
Sr. justify his decision to testify by stating on social media that he would not leave his father to rot in jail if the roles were reversed. He expressed frustration with his son for not taking steps to secure his father's release. He emphasized that his cooperation with the authorities was necessary to avoid severe legal penalties for himself.
Prosecutors say that in January 2020, Hakeem Robinson, who performs under the name Ksoo, Charles McCormick, who went by the name Lil Buck. Robinson Sr. was charged as an accessory after the fact in that crime and faced his own charge in a separate case. He faces 30 years to life, but if convicted, his cooperation with prosecutors could play a role at sentencing.
Ksoo.
That's what it really was. It wasn't that Ksoo left him to ride and none of that. Because what I say all the time is, at the end of the day, he didn't have to lie. And he didn't have to say anything. But you damn sure ain't have to take that stand on your own son. If you was innocent, it would have played out. It would have showed. But instead, he had different cases going on, and he wanted leniency on those cases that had nothing to do with Ksoo. And in return, he told on Ksoo in that one. So what happened? He got the time cut, the time reduced. And now he's out free doing all type of interviews. Crazy.
Shocked to hear his father had turned on him.
Getting a look at the moment a Jacksonville rapper found out he was charged with first-degree. First Coast News has obtained the interrogation video of Hakeem Robinson, also known as Ksoo.
We're going to be out there doing some paperwork. You do have a warrant for your arrest.
We have a warrant for your arrest for today.
What?
Yes.
For what?
You want your lawyer, so I can't tell you no more, but you'll be in trouble.
I hate when they do that. When you don't play by their rules or you tell them you want a lawyer, then they start doing things like that. But this feeling right here, you see when they came and told, I know his stomach, his whole heart dropped down to his butt. That's a fact. His whole heart dropped down to his stomach. Could you imagine fighting one situation only to hear that you have now gotten a warrant for another body? Oh man.
What the hell?
However, Ksoo's attorney denies he was the shooter because he doesn't match the description of the primary shooter allegedly captured in this photo.
In the McCormick case, Robinson's attorney said,
Come on. Come on. Come on. Y'all listen, y'all get in the comments and let me know what y'all think. Right? Because some people say that they feel this is Ksoo. Some people feel he ain't. Right? So I want to know what y'all think about this. Do y'all feel that this person is Ksoo? Or do you think that the prosecutors made a horrible mistake?
he does not fit the description of the shooter seen in this picture.
Bibby and Lil Buck's families have released statements hoping these arrests will lead to more peace and safety on the streets.
Can't wait till this trial is over with so we can finally start to heal, because none of us are healed yet. None of us have begun healing yet.
All right, y'all. So that's pretty much it, man. One of the reasons, like I said, I wanted to get into this story is because a lot of people know about Ksoo and the case. A lot of people know about the father and him testifying against his son, but a lot of people don't know where it all stemmed from. And basically, it goes back deeper than this, but this situation right here is kind of what solidified things and what got Ksoo out of here, right? So I want you guys to get caught up on everything that's going on, and y'all have an understanding of why Ksoo is now in prison serving a life sentence. Right? And what got him there and why they call his father a rat. All right, so y'all jump in the comments. Let me know what y'all think about this. How do y'all feel about this whole situation involving Buck and just the whole ATK versus KTA thing, period? I hope the youngins out there, they realize that it's not worth it because, yes, it may look cool. Yes, it may seem like these guys are living their best life, whether they got a little money, jewelry, whatever it is that they got. But at the end of the day, just know that your life could be taken from you in a blink of an eye. You may feel like you're getting away with something until that hammer come down, and now you facing life in prison where you could no longer see a family, you could no longer have girls, none of that. So be careful, man. Y'all jump in the comments. Let me know what y'all think about this. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Hit that bell so you're notified every time we drop new content. And remember, as long as you keep on watching, I'm going to keep on dropping. I'm out.